Welcome back. We spoke about this yesterday with Jimmy Zubris, special advisor to Mayor of Montreal, Valérie Plante, and also took your calls on the subject. The Conseil régional de l'environnement de Montréal, CRE-Montréal, wants to do away with free parking and reduce space taken up by parking in the city within the next 15 years. The environmental group says that this would reduce greenhouse gas emissions, improve public transit and safety for cyclists, and save the city about $500 million. Blaise Rémillard helped draft the parking report. He's also manager of mobility and urban planning at CRE-Montréal and oversees their transportation and urbanization initiatives. Monsieur Rémillard, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
So, did I summarize the report correctly? Do you want to add something? What are the top lines, in your opinion, of this report?
Yes, that's it. That's the parking takes a lot of space, a lot of resources, and if we want a better city with better options to get rid of some cars, and if we want space for housing in the city and having a better livelihood and business places, then we got to take it somewhere, and we think that it just makes sense to reallocate some resources and space from the parking, yes.
There's been a lot of reactions to this report, some of it positive, some of it negative, and some of it very negative. What kind of feedback have you heard so far?
Yes, well, I've heard one thing is that people are not ready yet to leave their car and pay more for it. So that's already what we said in our paper, that we had to implement measures gradually and making the cost of using public spaces for a car higher, along with improve our services and mass transit and bike path and so on.
Okay.
So I think we're kind of on the same page. If we're talking about not being there yet, so the idea is to do it in 15 years. Yes.
Okay, so you're proposing a gradual way to get to the objective, but still there's certain questions. I'll try to get some as many of these questions as possible in the limited time we have. But like, first of all, so downtown, we all know downtown is hurting. And one of the arguments is saying, okay, make actually the parking that's left in downtown Montreal more accessible, make it more of a motivation to get people to come to Montreal. So some people have reacted to your report saying, well, this might contribute to hurting downtown, for tourists or people from outside the downtown core to come to Montreal. What do you respond to that?
Well, now in the downtown of Montreal, there's a lot of parking. There's a free park, like if empty spaces of underused parking. It's most of it is paying. It's not for free.
Sure.
So so if the proposition would be to lower those fees, then what I would say is that we're planning a big mess, because as the towers will fill up again and people will be used to come again in car in Montreal, then it will be congestion.
Okay.
So it was a cost of $4 billion a year before the pandemic. So if we want to get there back as soon as possible, I think it's a bad planning experience that didn't work for the 20th century, and that shouldn't work in the 21st century neither.
Okay. Next question, seniors, people with reduced mobility, people that are on fixed incomes, they depend on these types of free parking spots. Of course, I'm talking around the city. I'm not just talking about downtown. There's been a lot of reaction from certain groups saying, if you're on a fixed income and you have limited mobility, you're senior, or you have other disabilities, you have to be able to count on some of those parking spots to get around. What do you respond to that?
Well, can be true. A lot of the car owners don't are not in lack of money, so they can reduce their car use, or maybe to go from 2 to 1 car. So the majority of car users are not in this situation. So I'm wondering if they're not a little bit instrumentalized in that arguments, but. Away from that, the idea is to leave no one behind. So, yes, of course, in our proposition, there are propositions to better understand what's the car dependency of the low-income households, and to make sure that the measures don't affect them too much, and to to accompany to
to accompany. No, it's fine.
To accompany them through that transition towards more sustainable mobility.
Okay. The next question: your report suggests that somehow a free parking spot costs around $1,200 a year to maintain. And somehow it's discriminatory for the 30% or so people, Montrealers, who don't use parking, don't have a car. And so I'm wondering about that argument and more about, because first of all, people, we pay taxes and we pay taxes for services that sometimes we don't use. And that's our system, right? And so the fact of saying, oh, well, this is some form of discrimination, and also the fact that, well, we already pay through our taxes for the maintaining of the roads. I mean, what do you answer to those arguments that, we should be careful about singling out certain groups and saying, well, since they don't use such and such service, then they shouldn't be burdened with the cost of it?
Yeah, well, there's many things in that question, and that's a good question.
Sure.
So, first of all, whether we spend money on something collectively is a society choice. So when we're spending money to make a just, a fair health system or fair education for all, so that's a priority. Collective decision we have altogether. So what we're seeing is that in the 21st century we got to use less car, and there's no way we can go around that. Then if we still favor car owners over non-car owners, then we create the situation where we never get to have more people taking mass transit, more people choosing to live near their destinations, and so on. So that's what we're saying. That we recommend that the support from the municipality to the users of the on-street parking is just gradually reduced.
I understand.
And there's another category of car owners who are already paying for their parking. I don't know why people forget that, but if you have a parking on your property, you pay for it, and you're taxed on it.
Sure. No, you're right.
So the idea is that if on the same street there are three households, one that doesn't have a car, they're paying their tax. One that has a garage on their property, they're paying for their garage, and the third one that's using the street then should pay their fare, and it will be cheaper than to own his own garage.
All right, got it. I got to leave it at that. That's all the time I have. Mr. Rémillard, I really appreciate you taking the time to clarify this report. This is a very important report. There's a lot of reactions. This is going to be an important debate to have over the next few years, and I appreciate your contribution to it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. It was a pleasure.
BLAISE Rémillard is Manager of Mobility and Urban Planning at the Conseil régional de l'environnement de Montréal. Time now to check on your drive. From the CJAD 800 Traffic Center, here's Lauren Glazer. Lauren.